Mark 14 verse 10 and 11. Then Judas Iscariot, who was one of the 12, went off to the chief priests in order to betray him to them. They were delighted when they heard this, and promised to give him money. And he began looking for a good opportunity to betray him. Explanation and relevance for today. These two short verses describe a deeply painful moment in the story of Jesus. Judas Iscariot, one of Jesus' 12 closest followers, made the decision to betray him. He went to the religious leaders, people who were supposed to represent God, and offered to hand Jesus over to them. These leaders were thrilled, not because they were seeking truth, but because they wanted to silence Jesus. They promised Judas money in return. From that moment on, Judas started looking for the right time to turn Jesus in. Let's think about this. Judas had walked with Jesus, heard his teaching, seen his miracles, and even shared meals with him. But somewhere along the way, his heart grew cold. Maybe he was disappointed that Jesus didn't lead a political revolution. Maybe he was tempted by greed. Or maybe he was just tired of waiting for things to go his way. Whatever the reason, Judas chose betrayal, and it began with a simple decision to put his desires above God's plan. So what does this mean for us today? Even now, people can still betray Jesus, not necessarily by handing him over to enemies, but by choosing selfishness, pride, or compromise instead of following him. For example, when we hide our faith to fit in, when we ignore his voice to chase money or approval, or when we trade truth for comfort, we do something similar to what Judas did. It might not seem dramatic, but the heart behind it matters just as much. We also see here how temptation works. The religious leaders were delighted by Judas's offer. The world still cheers us on when we walk away from God, but that doesn't mean it's right. The applause of people and the promise of gain are temporary. In the end, Judas was filled with regret. He realized too late that no amount of silver could ever replace the peace and joy of walking faithfully with Jesus. This passage reminds us to check our hearts daily. Are we following Jesus because we love him, or are we hoping he'll just give us what we want? Are we staying faithful even when things get hard? Let's not wait until regret teaches us what love already tried to show us. Jesus is always worth staying true to.